There is nothing that is tied with righteousness and poverty. It is an aberration to think that the poorer you are, the more righteous you become. Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 4. New Living Translation, NLT. Let's remain standing. Wealth maketh many friends. Poverty drives them all away. Message Bible. Wealth attracts friends as honey draws flies. But poor people are avoided like a plague. Poor people are avoided like a plague. Amplified version of the Bible. Wealth makes many friends, but the poor man is avoided by his neighbor. The poor man, even his neighbor near him, avoids him. The pastor preached somewhere a few days ago, and he said, I will never follow a poor pastor. And everybody has gone against him. If you like, you can follow the poor. I will not follow the poor. I will not follow the poor. If I find them, I will help them. But I won't let them lead me. I won't. I won't. There is nothing that is tied with righteousness and poverty. It is an aberration to think that the poorer you are, the more righteous you become. It's wrong. There is no one person in Scripture that was used by God, that God kept poor. Or the people called by God from poverty, they ended in abundance. However, the measurement of poverty and wealth is relative. To think that wealth is only measured by material things is also an aberration. Wealth. How do you quantify a man anointed by God like Apostle Paul, who wrote more than half of the New Testament? You look at that one and say he's poor, and then you make reference to Apostle Paul that he was poor. He wasn't poor. You make reference to Jesus that he was poor, that when Jesus died on the cross, when the soldiers, the military men who guided him, took his garment, they didn't see anywhere where the garment was joined. The garment was so expensive that they couldn't share it. They casted lot on who should take it. Is that the Jesus you say was poor? The one that had the sheep and had convoys of sheep or boats accompanying his sheep? He wasn't using canoe. He was using a yacht. A yacht. Canoe does not have an inner room where you can go and sleep on a pillow in the midst of the storm and you will not know. Our Jesus wasn't poor. Father Abraham was not poor. David was not poor. Solomon may not be a very good example, yet he was not poor. There was no one that walked with Jesus that was poor. Not the apostles. Not the apostles. Peter left everything and followed Jesus. And at the time he said, we have left everything to follow you. They had businesses they were running. And when they followed him, they were not poor. Peter still, even if he was a disciple of Jesus, still maintained his house and was wealthy enough to keep his mother-in-law in his house. That one day they went there on their missionary journey in Capernaum. They branched to Peter's house. And Peter's mother-in-law was sick. Jesus prayed for her, and the fever left her. And the woman joined them to cook. Peter wasn't poor. If he was poor, he will not have food for the mother-in-law to join them to cook. Please wake up. There is nothing that is associated with righteousness and poverty. In fact, the poorer you are, the more likely that you will not be righteous. That's the truth. Proverbs 13:20. He that walketh with the wise shall be wise also, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. He that walketh with the wise. I will walk with the wise. I will follow the wise. I will walk with the rich. I will follow the rich. When I find the poor, I will help them out of their poverty. When I find the foolish, I will help them out of their foolishness. But I will never submit to the leadership of the poor and the foolish. If you don't like what I said this morning, go to court.